let's measure. Well, the old stare it. Well, there it says we're basically there at 3.07. That's what we want. Well, 3.95. You know, I may take another 1,000th off just for the hell of it. Just because. Actually, I'll just take a spring cut. I think a spring cut should do it, and it'll be there. All right, this never happens in real life, but it's happening now. There's what the DRO says, 3.072, and here's what my trusty Starrett caliper says, 3.0715. I'd say that's about as close as this garage is ever going to come to anything being perfect. Time for a cup of coffee. All right, I don't know if you can see that where you are, but smooth as the roof of a baby's mouth. Really nice. So what happened was I decided I was going to thread it normally on the front end here instead of on the back end, because I can't remember if I've got to make it go backwards in order to thread on the back end. At any rate, I carved a relief in there. So this goes 1.5 inches, and there's a relief, and the relief is the thread depth, a little bit more than the thread depth, so I should have a good time going in without crashing into anything. And while I was doing that, the thing heated up quite a bit, and so I thought, let this puppy cool down. And when it cooled down, I measured it, and sure enough, the bastard shrunk. So I had to take another 2 thou off, and now we're back to 3.0715. It gives me a little bit of clearance, an additional 1,000th of clearance. And now what we're going to do is use this thing. This thing, which I have had virtually no luck with at all, except to break these. It seems like what these things are these, I think they cost like 25 bucks a piece. And you get 3, so you can use, you can break them 3 times before you're hitting yourself in the head and going, what the hell am I doing machining for when I can do software on an Arduino? And when it doesn't work, all I do is erase it and start from scratch instead of spending money. I don't know, perhaps we're insane. Let's see. Alright, I figure I better take a picture of this. So I got this boring bar with the internal threading bit in there. I'm spinning at 70 RPM. I'm gonna put a little juice on there. I'm gonna line up the DRO. Okay, that's the outside edge, Z0. And I'm gonna try to get the inside edge here. That's the inside edge, X0. Alright, now I got to go in roughly 83 thousandths according to my measurements. So first we'll take a little scratch cut here, and I'm doing 8 threads per inch, which means I can stop on any number. I always like to stop on a 1, and I like to bring it way the hell out here just in case I miss. I can recount. Oh, you see, this old grizzly lathe, god darn grizzly lathe, it doesn't positively lock in place. So when you're threading, you gotta do that. Alright, so heading in, should be going roughly 1.5 inches. Alright, there we go. We stopped there, actually 1.3 inches. And we'll take all that out and we'll measure. And I should set my cross light on 0, which I didn't do, but I got the DRO set up, and we'll measure. Okay, I've got one of these things which have so many threads on it, it's hard to find the one you're looking for. We're looking for 8. That's a 10. Is this the metric one? No, it's not. 9. That means you must be 8. There's 8. Let's see. Shoot, if I had some light, I could see it. Okay, it's doing at TPI. It's doing 8 threads per inch. So what we'll do is we'll bring the DRO in 0, and that's our scratch pass. I'll dial in. I got some backlash here. Let's get the backlash out. Okay, I'm going to dial in 2000s. Try it again with some gusto this time. This is just going to be a... I'm going to wait for it to come around. I don't like, it says I can do any number, but I like to do the same number all the time so I'm not confused. Alright. And that's doing just a little bit, and I don't mind. Bring this back to 0, Z. I'll dial in another few thousand, and we'll try it again. Number 1. Looks like we're not cross-threading. Looks like it's going. Okay. Go out, go back. Let's go back to 0. The 0 that we know and love. I'm going to dial in about 4 thousandths this time. Let's see what happens. There we go. And let me spray some juice on there. So we're now threading officially. I'll dial in 5 thousandths. Bring this guy back to 0. Until my 1 comes around. Ah, shoot, that's the problem. It doesn't always catch cleanly. It's a pain in the neck. I watch Adam Booth do this at like 300 RPM. I don't know how the hell he does it. The guy has got nerves of steel, I tell you. Back to 0, dial in another 5 thou. Go. And it keeps going this way until I screw up or the thread's in there. Here we go, coming around to 1. Click. So you can hear it's hitting my relief. Thank God. Oh, that's what happens. Luckily it hit into the relief. If I start talking while I'm doing this, I screw it up. Another 5 thousandths until the 1 comes by. And now I'm hitting you along with the darn grizzly lathe. Darn lathe. Darn. Come on. Positive locking mechanism. Lock. Alright, I'm going to stop this cavalcade of joy until I get a little bit closer. Ladies and gents, here's the money shot. There's 20 or 30 iterations at God knows how few, 1,000th at a time. I was very careful. Now that guy screws into that guy. All we gotta do is clean up the surfaces and make it look nice, and we got a case for the Geophone. All that while the wife's inside watching porn. Of course, she would object to me saying that, but she's never going to see this video. That's not so bad. I think I'll go with that. Well, there it is. Male frustration day became this. A top and a bottom. It's got a little dimple in it. I will actually probably put a light on there. Goes in quite nicely. I may have to put some Permatex on it to prevent it from seizing, if I ever care about it that much. But so next step is to put little Geophone in here with maybe an Arduino or something, light up a light when it senses vibration. You know, put it at the foot of your bed to see if anything's happening. Send the internet signals up to Google because they want to know everything, right? They want to know your body temperature, they want to know when your bed's rocking, they want to know what is happening in your house, if your Nest thermometer is too hot, too cold. See, it turns out that for marketing's sake, they need to know literally everything. Meanwhile, I'll see you next time.